Welcome to part 3 of 20 of this quizzer designed to assist law students, accountancy students, and financial management students in understanding and recalling key provisions of corporate governance laws. This educational tool focuses on Section 24 to 35 of Revised Corporation Code that includes several important sections from a corporate law code, highlighting election and reporting requirements for directors and officers, disqualification criteria, procedures for removal and replacement, as well as rules governing director compensation and liabilities. This quizzer is tailored to facilitate effective recall and understanding of the legal requirements and standards that govern corporate entities, making it a valuable resource for students preparing for exams or professionals refreshing their knowledge. 1. What is required to be reported to the Commission within 30 days after the election of directors, trustees, and officers of a corporation? The names, nationalities, shareholdings, and residence addresses of the directors, trustees, and officers elected must be reported within 30 days after their election. Section 25. 2. If an election of directors, trustees, or officers is not held, what must be reported and when? The non-holding of elections and the reasons must be reported within 30 days from the scheduled date of the election. Section 25. 3. What action can the Commission take if the rescheduled election is not held? The Commission may summarily order an election to be held upon application from a stakeholder and verification of the unjustifiable non-holding of the election. Section 25.
4. Under what conditions is a person disqualified from being a director, trustee, or officer of a corporation? Disqualification occurs if, within 5 years prior to their election or appointment, the person was convicted of an offense punishable by imprisonment exceeding 6 years, violated the Code or the Securities Regulation Code, or was found administratively liable for fraudulent acts. Section 26. 5. How can a director or trustee be removed from office? A director or trustee can be removed by a vote of stockholders holding or representing at least 2/3 of the outstanding capital stock, or by a similar vote of members in a non-stock corporation. Removal must be proposed in a meeting with prior notice. Section 27. 6. How are vacancies in the board of directors or trustees filled? Vacancies can be filled by a majority vote of the remaining directors or trustees, if they still constitute a quorum. Otherwise, they must be filled by the stockholders or members in a meeting. Section 28. 7. What is the compensation rule for directors or trustees if not fixed by bylaws? Directors or trustees shall receive no compensation except for reasonable per diems, unless otherwise granted by a majority vote of stockholders or members. Section 29. 8. What are the liabilities of directors or trustees for unlawful acts or negligence? Directors or trustees are jointly and severally liable for damages resulting from willful and knowing votes or assents to unlawful acts, gross negligence, bad faith, or conflicts of interest. Section 30. 9. Under what conditions is a contract involving directors, trustees, or officers voidable? A contract is voidable unless it meets conditions such as not needing the directors or trustees' presence for a quorum, their vote was not necessary for approval, and the contract is fair and reasonable. Section 31.
(10) What are the rules regarding contracts between corporations with interlocking directors? Such contracts are not invalidated solely due to interlocking directors, provided the contract is fair and reasonable, and the director's interest is not substantial in one corporation compared to the other. Section 32. 11. What must a director do if they acquire a business opportunity that should belong to the corporation? The director must account for and refund all profits obtained from the business opportunity to the corporation unless ratified by the stockholders. Section 33. 12. What are the powers of an executive committee within a corporation? The executive committee can act on specific matters within the board's competence. Except for actions requiring shareholders' approval, filling board vacancies, amending bylaws, and approving cash dividends. Section 34. 13. What are the general corporate powers as stipulated in the Code? Corporations have powers such as to sue and be sued, have perpetual existence, amend articles of incorporation, make reasonable donations, and more, subject to limitations prescribed by law. Section 35.